कार्तिक गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जय। नित्यावल्लभ विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज शिल गुरुदेव की जय। नित्यावल्लभ विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यावल्लभ विष्णु विष्णुपाद अष्टतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत साई महाराज शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatara Shatashmar Bhakti Vedanta. Sorry, let me just say that again. Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatara Shatashmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityal Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatara Shatashmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalala Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Shila Gorkisharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityalala Pravishta Shila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura ki jai. Nityalala Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadasa Raghunath Shad Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. नामचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। जय श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। श्री हरिनाम चिंतामणि की जय। जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत ऑनलाइन भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। That was copying Shivas. That's what he does in his Jayjani. All right, let's do the Mangala Charan. Wait, let me open it up. Where is it? There it is. अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। श्रीसिद्धान्तसरस्वतीति विदितो कोडियगुर्वन्वये भातो भानुरिव प्रभातगगने योगोरसङ्कीर्तनाय मायावारतिमिङ्गिलोदरगतान् उद्धृत्य जीवनिमान् कृष्णप्रेमसुधाब्धिगहनसुखां प्रदात् प्रभुं तं भजे। वन्दे भक्तिविनोदं श्रीगौरशक्तिस्वरूपकं भक्तिशास्त्रज्ञसम्राजां राधारससुधानिधिं नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगवरायते श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। वृषभानुसुतान्वितवामतनुं यमुनातटनागरनन्दसुतं मुरलीकलगीतविनोदपरं भज गोद्रुमकाननकुञ्जविदुं Smara Gaura Gadadhara Kelikalang Bhava Gaura Gadadhara Pakshachara Shrinu Gaura Gadadhara Charukatang Bhaja Godrumakanana Kunjavidum Tavai Basmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvang Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptascha Kamadhitaranga Madhye Kripa Twang Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanaravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Nitai Mukeshji, Anadhi Krishna Prabhu, and let's see, on YouTube and Facebook, I see Pradyumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Ganga Mataji, I'm guessing Indira Mataji and Raseshwari Mataji, and um, I see some other devotees there. If you write a comment, I'll see your name. Dandavat Pranams. So, yesterday, oh, Haribol Sarveshwari Mataji. There you go. So yesterday we completed our reading of Jaiva Dharma, the second part of Jaiva Dharma on the topic of Dashmula Tattva, and then it ended with three chapters were dedicated to on Nam Tattva, Nam Tattva, Nam Aparad, and Nam Abhas. And so then I can't. I think it was it Nitai Mukeshji? Was it you who suggested it, or did somebody suggest in the chat? I don't know. I wasn't looking at the chat so much, but anyways, because of that wonderful suggestion, I wasn't thinking of it before, but yeah, decided to go through Harināma-cintāmaṇi by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. I didn't get time to prepare anything yesterday for it, and so today I'm going to read a chapter, sorry, an article by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, also on the the topic of Nam Bhajan, called Sādhana. Very practical, very important article, Sādhana. It was published in Rays of the Harmonist, 2006 Kartik edition, number 16. Um, and then after that, I thought we can read the introduction to that Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Thakura's introduction to Harināma-cintāmaṇi. So yeah, uh, yeah. Let me just find it now. Um, oh, as I'm just looking at the chat right now, it was Sarveshwari Mataji's suggestion to read Harināma-cintāmaṇi. Okay, cool. Yeah, so thanks to you, we're reading it. That's yeah. I was just looking at the chat from yesterday, or 2 days ago. Okay. Dandavat pranams Niri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarini Mataji. Hare Krishna. Oh, and I prepared the table of contents from Harināma-cintāmaṇi, and I did a word count so that I can plan how we'll set up the readings. Let's take a look at that actually. Where is it? I think it's in there it is, table of contents to Harināma-cintāmaṇi. Here. So this is how Harināma-cintāmaṇi is organized. Let me just make this big so you can all see. I did a word count. I think we'll experiment on the first day because Harināma-cintāmaṇi is all written in verse form. I think it's mostly like the Chaitanya Charitamrita verse form payar. Um, and so first chapter has 4,392 words. We'll see if we can finish that in one day. If so, then it'll just be a day a chapter, like chapter one. Yeah, and there are 15 chapters. Some of the chapters are short, also. But yeah, so I think it'd take like a little over a couple weeks to read. Maybe it'll take like 20 days. But the first chapter is an introduction to the glories of the holy name. Second chapter is a deliberation on chanting the holy name. Then three is deliberation on namabas. Four, offenses to the holy name. And the first one, criticizing of sadhus. And yeah, then it goes through the 10 offenses, a chapter for each aparad, for not. And then the last chapter is the method of bhajan pranali. Oh, and it goes through seva aparad before that. So nama aparad, most of the book is on the topic of nama aparad, and then seva aparad's the last. Seva aparad and bhajan pranali. Um, and throughout this program, what I would like to do is go through the four verses of, I think it's four verses from Padma Puran, um, on the topic of Nama Parad. And we'll recite that every day. And I'd like to go through and try to understand the meaning of all the Sanskrit words. So then I'm hoping by the end of this program, we'll all have those four verses of the 10 offenses memorized. So maybe we can also go through that today as well. I haven't prepared that at all, but I think it's on this website, anushilan.in. So we'll check it out there. But first, we will go through this article, Sadhan, by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Okay, one second. Let me hide this. The desire for sadhu sangha and the inclination to serve Krishna, Krishnanushilan, appear in the jiva by the influence of Sukriti. It's the subheading. The jiva's aversion to Bhagavan is the result of his desire for sense enjoyment. Consequently, he wanders throughout this world with the hope of attaining happiness. As long as his desire for worldly happiness does not wane, an inclination to serve Bhagavan cannot possibly arise in him. However, with the accumulation of abundant sukriti, or spiritual merit, his desire for worldly enjoyment slackens. This is the result of Bhagavan's gradual mercy upon him. It is then that the desire for sadhu sangha, the association of saintly persons, arises within him naturally. Shraddha, or transcendental faith, arises by discussing topics about Krishna and sadhu sangha. With the jiva's increasing effort to engage in the cultivation of activities related to Krishna, a greed to attain Bhagavan appears within him. At that time, one should accept the shelter of the lotus feet of a guru, whose character is spotless and who has full knowledge of philosophical truths. One should learn the art of bhajan from such a guru. Only by the strength of his bhajan does the jiva attain the complete mercy of Bhagavan. To attain the mercy of Bhagavan is the sole purpose of sadhan. In the jiva's condition of being completely captivated by Maya, He must accept the activities of sadhana as indispensable in order to become eligible to attain the mercy of Bhagavan. Sriman Mahaprabhu has himself said, Sadhan bina jiver sadhya vastu keho nahi pai. A jiva who does not perform sadhana does not attain his goal, or sadhya. Although a person may have attained a little shraddha, if he is lazy about performing the activities of sadhana and simply sits back and hopes to attain Krishna's mercy, he will not receive any real benefit. His life will simply pass by uselessly. Krishna is the embodiment of mercy, and in bestowing his boundless compassion upon the jivas, he has manifested the Vedic scriptures. Furthermore, he descends in every yuga and preaches the specific dharma, our spiritual means for deliverance for that yuga. In this way, he endeavors to make all jivas understand those Vedic scriptures and become favorably inclined toward him. Particularly in Kali Yuga, his mercy is available without restriction. Those who do not become inclined to perform sadhana to attain Krishna, despite having such an opportunity, simply have no hope of ever attaining auspiciousness. It's a heavy statement. Those who do not become inclined to perform sadhana to attain Krishna, despite having such an opportunity, they simply have no hope of ever attaining auspiciousness. The specific result one attains at the stage of perfection is a function of the quality. The result one attains at the stage of perfection is a function of the quality of one's sadhana. Sri Krishna Chandra is supremely independent. If he so desires, he can give his darshan to the jiva. That said, if a person's heart lacks eagerness to perform even a little sadhana to attain him, then that person's yearning for Krishna cannot be genuine. Rather, it is simply a semblance of real hankering. Such a person would not in fact be satisfied even by the direct darshan of Bhagavan, but would return to this world from Vaikuntha to fulfill his hankering for the worthless happiness of this world. This is nice. The process of sadhana is nothing but the art of increasing one's thirst to attain Bhagavan. It's a really simple, definite explanation. The process of sadhana is nothing but the art of increasing one's thirst to attain Bhagavan. A person receives the mercy of Krishna in proportion to the intensity of this thirst, which develops by performing sadhana marked by care and eagerness. When such sadhana is fully matured, Krishna manifests himself to that person. He cannot withhold himself. He cannot withhold himself. I love it. It's just so clear. The person receives the mercy of Krishna in proportion to the intensity of this thirst, which develops by performing sadhana marked by care and eagerness. Then when that sadhana is fully matured, Krishna manifests himself to that person. He cannot withhold himself. The conditioned jiva will never achieve success if he relinquishes the activities of sadhana. He must embrace them with great care. He will approach perfection to the extent that he performs sadhana with honor. What is sadhana? Srila Rupa Goswami has stated, Nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatyam hridi sadhyata. Sadhana is the process of awakening the eternal dormant propensity within one's heart to love Krishna. That's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Purva Vibhag 2:2. Nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatam hridi sadhyata. The jiva's eternal constitutional nature is to be a servant of Bhagavan, and his eternal occupation is Bhagavat Prem, to render loving service to Bhagavan. In the jiva's conditioned state, his eternally perfect love is observed in the form of his love for sense objects. It's in that distorted condition. Sadhana is the process that revokes that love from the sense objects and causes this eternal love to appear in the heart. The Shastras delineate the various limbs of sadhana. Srila Rupa Goswami has divided these into 64 divisions in his book Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Srimad Bhagavatam divides them into 9 forms, namely Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, etc. The essence of all sadhana, especially in Kali Yuga, is Harinam, to chant the holy names of Krishna. It's the essence of all sadhana, Harinam. Shri Nam Sankirtan is the highest sadhana, and the various other limbs of sadhana are its assistants. When the best of scholars, Vasudev Sarvabhauma, wished to know what is the highest sadhana, Sriman Mahaprabhu replied that Harinam Sankirtan is topmost. This is described in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 6-241. Bhakti sadhan shrishta shunite hoilo man, Prabhu upadesha koilo nama sankirtan. Okay, sorry. Sriman Mahaprabhu also spoke the following words to Sri Sanatan Goswami. Bhajaner madhye shrishta navavidha bhakti, Krishna prem, Krishna dite, dhare mahashakti. Tar madhye sarvashishta nama sankirtan, niraparadhe nama loile, pai premadhan. Among the various methods of performing bhajan, the best is to execute the 9 prescribed processes of bhakti. These processes carry the outstanding potency to bestow both Krishna prem and Krishna. Among the 9 processes of bhakti, chanting the holy names is foremost. If one chants without committing any offenses, one easily receives the treasure of pure love for Krishna. That's Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila 4, verses 70-71. In this Kali Yuga, there's no other refuge for the jiva than chanting the names of Hari. Indeed, Harinam is the only sadhana, and the other limbs of sadhana are accepted as its assistants. Wow. Harinam is the only sadhana, and then all other limbs of bhakti, they're just the assistants of Harinam. In Shastra, we find the statement, Eka anga sadhe keho, sadhe bahu anga. Some practice a single limb, whereas others practice many. However, no one should think that he can attain perfection by taking shelter of any limb other than Harinam. When a sadhak understands Harinam to be the topmost sadhana and takes one pointed shelter of Nam, he can also perform the other limbs of sadhana. Shastra clearly declares, Harinam, Harirnam, Harirnam, Harirnam eva kevalam, kalo nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyata. To attain one's spiritual goal in Kali Yuga, there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way than to chant the holy name, chant the holy name, chant the holy name. Shrinam is both the practice and the goal. Whoever is the recipient of Sriman Mahaprabhu's mercy will single-mindedly take shelter of Harinam without any duplicity. As he performs sadhana of Harinam and gradually attains perfection, he will come to realize Nam in the true form of his sadhya, or goal. This is because Krishna's name is both the goal and the means to attain it. There is no difference between Krishna's name, Nam, and Krishna himself, the possessor of the name, Nami. Instructions to the sadhak on the practice of chanting. It is necessary to deliberate a little on the subject of the practice, or sadhan, of Srinam. Sadhan is performed with the senses. Therefore, it is essential that the sadhak firmly and expertly engage his senses in the activities of sadhan. One can perform the practices of sadhan in a charming way if one keeps the body healthy. This can be achieved by regulating one's eating, yukta ahar, and recreation, yukta vihar. In other words, if a person tortures his body by being falsely renounced, then all his senses become disabled. Consequently, instead of the sadhak performing sadhan, he forfeits his life. In this regard, Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verses 6, Ashnata na chati swapnashilasya jagrato naiva charjuna. O Arjuna, yoga cannot be perfected by one who eats too much or too little, or who sleeps too much or too little. Yuktahara viharasya, yuktacheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapnavabodhas bodhasya, yogo bhavati dukkaha. For one who is moderate in eating and recreation, balanced in work, and regulated in sleeping and wakefulness, his practice of yoga destroys all material miseries. The meaning here is that if one who eats too much or hardly eats at all, who sleeps a lot or does not sleep enough, is never able to use his body and senses to perform the activities of sadhan. If a person does not allow his body to become if a person does not allow his body to become unhealthy or his senses inactive, by regulating all his endeavors, including his eating, recreation, sleeping, and waking, then his sadhan will be executed exquisitely, and it will destroy all his miseries. And that's just like any of Bhagavan's paraphernalia, right? Like when we're washing the instruments used in archan, then we should wash it very nicely and make it shiny and beautiful. And because it's Krishna's property, all the articles, and this body is also meant to be an instrument used in Krishna service. So we should treat it like that. It's not ours to abuse or whatever. It's Krishna's property that we have to take very good care of so that we can use it in Krishna service in the best way. The implication is that one must engage one's internal sense, the mind, in remembering and meditating upon Sri Nam by protecting it from the four anarthas, or impediments to spiritual progress. These impediments are misconceptions about reality, Swarup Brahm, the hankering for temporary objects, Asat Trishna. Trishna means thirst, so thirst for the mundane things. Weakness of the heart and adopting the process of bhakti, hriday durbalya, and offenses, aparad. Moreover, one's external senses should be protected from becoming habituated to activities that are unfavorable to one's bhajan, such as overeating, oversleeping, and endeavoring for sense objects. Instead, they should be incessantly engaged in the sadhana of Nam Kirtan. The capacity to do so is indeed the expertise of a sadhak. The foundation of sadhan, determination to accept what is favorable for bhakti and to reject what is unfavorable. It is necessary for a sadhak to be both vigilant and resolute in accepting what is favorable for his bhakti and rejecting what is unfavorable. Often, various unfavorable things come into the life of a jiva in this material world. And if he does not carefully and decisively reject them, they will hinder his sadhana and delay him in attaining his cherished goal. Sometimes one may think, let me do what is unfavorable for my sadhana today, and from tomorrow I'll take special care to avoid this. Just gonna watch this one movie today, and then tomorrow I'll be a good boy. But one who manifests such weakness of heart, hriday dorbalya, will never attain auspiciousness. As soon as a sadhak perceives something to be an obstacle to his bhajan, he should give it up immediately and embrace the mercy of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Determination is indeed the foundation of sadhana. If a person lacks determination, he cannot progress even a single step in his sadhana. So as soon as we catch ourselves, um, you know, then we have to immediately bring ourselves back. And if we don't, if we just think, oh well, I'll be better tomorrow, then that's hriday dorbalya. Okay, a sadhak's foremost assistant is sadhu sangha. The sadhu is the sadhak's primary benefactor. The heart of the Buddha Jiva is so captured by anarthas that he cannot single handedly remove them, despite his arduous attempts to do so. For one who remains in sadhu sangha, however, anarthas have no chance of manifesting. Śrīla Ṭhākura Mahashaya has rightly said, Kiva ba korite pare. Pare? I think so. Oh, sorry. Kiva ba korite pare. Kama krodha sadhakera jadi hoy sadhu janar sangha. What can lust and anger do to a sadhak if he is in the association of sadhus? Sadhu Sangha is absolutely essential for one who wants to properly perform the activities of sadhana. Sriman Mahaprabhu has said, Krishna Bhakti Janmamol Hoy Sadhu Sangha Krishna Prem Janmete Ho Puna Mukhya Anga. Wow, that's a strong verse, huh? The underlying cause of the birth of bhakti to Sri Krishna is sadhu sangha, and even after Krishna prema awakens in the heart, sadhu sangha remains the foremost principle. Even after receiving Krishna prema, sadhu sangha is the foremost principle. It's the mukhya anga. That's from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 2283. Mahat kripa bina kono karme bhakti noy. Krishna bhakti dure raho sangsara nahe koi. Unless a person is blessed by an exalted saint, none of the activities he performs can be considered to be bhakti. What to say of attaining Krishna bhakti? It is impossible for him to even extricate himself from material existence. That's from the same chapter, verse 51. Incessantly accept the shelter of Sri Nam and pray for the mercy of Sri Nam. If one can chant the holy name in the association of a pure devotee who is attached to chanting, all his offenses will be dispelled, and Nam Tattva will quickly manifest in his heart. Our prayer at the lotus feet of Sriman Mahaprabhu is that by incessantly chanting the holy name in the association of a Shuddha Bhakta, we may soon realize the sweetness, the ras of Sri Nam. We pray for nothing other than the mercy of Sri Nam. We pray for nothing other than the mercy of Sri Nam. This is translated from Sri Gaudiya Patrika, Year 8, Issue 7. Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Wow, that was a great article, huh? Perfect. I think this is a perfect thing to read before Harināma-cintāmaṇi. And now we will read the introduction to Harināma-cintāmaṇi. One second. Let me just. Haribol Kishore Prabhu and Champak Mataji. Oh, wait. And let me open this up, see if anybody else joins here. Oh, and Haribol Chatamai Mataji and Gagan. Hare Krishna. Oh, and Madhavi. Haribol Madhavi. Okay, cool. Okay, so I found this on bhaktivinodainstitute.org. I think this is the website of what's his name? Shripad Bhakti Gaurav Narasingha Maharaj. And there are these books that were translated. A lot of them were translated by, don't know his full name. It says B.V. Giri Maharaj. Is it Bhakti Vigyan Giri Maharaj? I don't know. I don't know him so well, but I mean, I don't know him at all. But I looked at the translation and it seems pretty good. And the Bengali is there also, which is very helpful. So this is what we'll be reading from these days. It says, Shri Harināma-cintāmaṇi was written in 1900 by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. This work of 15 chapters composed in Bengali verse form explains in detail the process of chanting the holy name and especially deals with the 10 offenses as delineated in the Padma Purana, which we'll be reciting every day. We'll recite at the end. We'll recite those verses. The narrative is a dialogue between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Haridas Thakur. In the introduction, Bhaktivinoda Thakur states that Harināma-cintāmaṇi is based upon rare texts that he discovered during his research. Okay, so the introduction's not so long. We'll just read this and then end for today. Let me put it on this thing here. Is it there? One second. Oh, and Haribol Gokuleshwari Didi. Okay. Okay. I actually haven't read this yet either, so we're all reading it for the first time. Shri Harināma-cintāmaṇi, Introduction. Prabodhini Katha, Words of Enlightenment. This book is not an ordinary text. This is written by Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura. Only those in whom firm faith in Sri Chaitanya has appeared, who have taken shelter of the holy name and have faith in bhakti, are qualified to understand this book. Amongst various types of sadhan bhakti, all perfection is attained by taking shelter of the name, and those who believe this are the best of sadhaks. These instructions of Sriman Mahaprabhu are found in his Shikshashtak. Sri Mahaprabhu appointed Haridas Thakur as the Acharya of these teachings. He is the Nam Acharya. Authoritative books affirm that Srila Haridas Thakur took birth in a Yavan household, and we know this for certain. Haridas accepted his birth in a rural village named Bhurana. After some time, due to his previous samskar, his deeds performed in a previous life, he eventually became attracted to Hari Bhajan. Leaving home, he built a small kutir, a cottage, in the forest of Benapol, and he lived there, constantly engaged in Nam Sankirtan and Smaran. Because some inimical people were opposed to him, he left that place and came to live on the banks of the Ganga. Some evil men sent a prostitute in order to corrupt him. Yet by hearing Harinam from the mouth of Haridas, that prostitute eventually attained some sukriti and became a devotee. Offering his kutir in Benapul, is it Benapul? I always said it was Benapul. Okay. But offering his kutir in Benapul to this new devotee, Haridas left that province. Continuously singing Harinam, he crossed the Ganga and came to Saptagram, where he stayed in the house of Srila Yadunandan Acharya. In that village, and in the association of the Acharya, he attended meetings hosted by Sri Hiranya and Govardhan, who were landowners with the title Majumdar. He had many debates on the glories of Sri Nam with a Brahma Bandhu, a so-called Brahmin, named Gopal Chakravarti. Hiranya and Govardhan dismissed that Brahmin from their employment, and later, due to Vaishnava Parad, he developed leprosy. At that time, Govardhan's son Raghunath Das, who was very young, became attracted to the path of Vaishnavism by the mercy of Haridas. Hearing of Gopala Chakravarti's suffering, Haridas felt sad and left that place. He took shelter of Srimad Advaita Prabhu in Puliagram and performed Nirjan Hari Bhajan, solitary worship of Hari, in a cave on the bank of the Ganga. Although a devotee may dislike fame and give up the association of worldly people, the glories of a devotee can never be hidden. As the light of his bhakti spreads, the jealousy of the Muslim, sorry guys, I don't know why I'm having a hard time reading. As the light of his bhakti spread, the jealousy of the Muslims arose, and he was seized by them and especially tortured by the Mulukpati, the leader of the Muslims. Haridas was filled with mercy for all living beings. Without considering their faults, he gave blessings to everyone, left that place, and returned to his cave. A few days later, Mahaprabhu came to that holy place. In the company of Sri Advaita, Haridas met Sriman Mahaprabhu and sought refuge at his feet. From that time on, he was appointed by Mahaprabhu as the Acharya of Nam Prachar, of propagating the holy name. Later on, Mahaprabhu relocated to Sri Purushottam, Sri Jagannath Puri. And at that time, Haridas stayed at Siddha Bakul. When Haridas left this world, the Lord himself placed him in Samadhi at the seashore, and during the ceremony performed Sankirtan and ended it with a Viraha Mahotsav, an observance of separation. This is Sriman Mahaprabhu's Leela. And those devotees who became elevated in bhakti preached his teachings to the world. After asking Haridas some questions, the Lord revealed Nam Tattva, the intrinsic truth about the holy name, from his mouth. The Lord revealed Nam Tattva from his mouth. Is his mouth referring to Haridas Thakur's mouth? Yeah, okay. All these things are described in many places in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, and in many other books describing bhakti. Being encouraged by devotees at various times, I have compiled an anthology from all the books describing Sri Haridas's preaching about Nam Tattva. I also received some books about our Haridas from devotees living far away. Seeing amongst them writings of the Sahajas, Bals, and other incoherent statements, I carefully discarded these. One or two books agreed with pure Vaishnava philosophy. In one of the texts, a rasic meaning of the 16 holy names of 32 syllables was found. I was very happy to find this. It seems that Sri Haridas instructed a pure devotee about the holy name, and he wrote this book in the name of his Gurudev. After seeing these books, I would like to profusely thank the devotee community of the Sri Hatta province. In all these books, I found Haridas's instructions in relation to Harinam, and they are all compiled in this book, Harināma-cintāmaṇi. To increase the happiness of the Niskinchan Bhaktas, the devotees who have renounced everything for Krishna, we have published this book. We think that those who are not Niskinchanas, who are exclusively devoted to the holy name, we think that those who are not Niskinchans, who are exclusively devoted to the holy name, should not read this book, and we do not wish to hear their arguments about this topic. There are many methods of sadhan bhajan. but the method of bhajan where exclusive shelter of the name is one type only. Wait. There are many methods of sadhana bhajan, but the method of bhajan where exclusive shelter of the name is taken as one type. This is one type only. Huh? Sorry, I'm not understanding the sentence. Anyways. Okay. Is taken is of one type only. Anyways, sorry guys. It probably makes sense also. Sometimes anyways, that happens to me. From the time of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the great devotees have followed this bhajan pranali, this method of worship, as spoken by Sri Haridas. Oh, maybe this is what we read before in the Sadhan chapter, that Harinam, Nam bhajan, Nam bhajan is the only sadhan, and everything else is just assistance. Maybe it's mentioning that. I don't know. Okay, so from the time of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the great devotees have followed this bhajan pranali, this method of worship, as spoken by Sri Haridas. Since ancient times, the Vaishnavas residing in the forests of Raj have all followed this process of bhajan. And sometime later, we saw with our own eyes how all the bhajananandi Vaishnavas of Sri Purushottam Kshetra also followed it. Bhajananandi is the Vaishnavas who are absorbed in the bliss of bhajan. They also follow this process of nam bhajan. At the end of Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sri Sanatan and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswamis have clearly written about this exclusive bhajan pranali, consisting of living in a solitary place and engaging in constant shravan, kirtan, and smaran of Sri Harinam without offense. This Sri Harināma-cintāmaṇi is a book written in the Payar meter, and women, children, and those inexperienced in Sanskrit can all grasp Mahaprabhu's teachings from reading it. It is for this reason that I have not included any Sanskrit quotes which might trouble them. There's another anthology called Praman Mala, which contains shastric evidence for every sentence of this Harināma-cintāmaṇi. If Sri Krishna desires, this book will also be published for the devotees very soon. A servant of the Akinchanas, Sri Bhaktivinoda. And there is a footnote. Wait, let me take it off of reader view. The footnote said that this book, Praman Mala, was the original name, like I guess, of Bhajan Rahasya. Praman Mala ended up becoming Bhajan Rahasya. So isn't that interesting? That it is so he in Harināma-cintāmaṇi he didn't want to have any Sanskrit verses to make it more accessible to everyone, but he made another book, Praman Mala, which has all the Sanskrit verses and everything. It contains all the shastric evidence for every sentence of this Harināma-cintāmaṇi. And then that book became Bhajan Rahasya. So really, Bhajan Rahasya is the book, is a garland of proof, Praman Mala. Yeah, all the verses, all the Sanskrit verses and all the shastras collected together as a garland to prove every sentence of Harināma-cintāmaṇi. So those books really go together. Harināma-cintāmaṇi and Bhajan Rahasya. Maybe we should read Bhajan Rahasya after. I don't know. All right. So that's our program for today. Yeah. Today I will set up our first reading. I mean, all I need to do is make the thumbnail for YouTube. But that usually takes me a little while, first one. So I'll do that. And then tomorrow we will begin Harinam. Oh, wait. I almost forgot. Let's, in this program, every day we're going to go through, we're going to recite what is it? One second. We're going to recite the 10 offenses to the holy name. I'll eventually make my own translation for it. But for now, we'll just use this one on this website, anushilan.org. Satam Ninda. Come on. Where is it? Um, there it is. Okay. It's just opening up. There it is. Okay, so yeah, let's recite this and then we'll end for today. Satang ninda namna paramam aparadhang vitanute yatha kyatim yatam katamu sahate tar vikarham. Seems like there's a syllable missing here. Anyways, Shivasya Shri Vishnor ya iha gunanamari sakalang Diya bhinnang pashyet sakalu harinama hitakara kuroravagya shruti shastra nindanam sorry, tatartavado harinam nikalpanam namno balaryasya hipapa buddhir na vidyate tasya yamarhi shuddhihi Dharma dharma vrata tyaga hutadi sarva shubha kriya samyam api pramada ashraddhane vimukepya shrinvati yaschopadesha shivanama paradaha Shrutvapi nama mahatmyam ya priti rahito dhama ahang mamadi paramo namni sopyaparadakrit. It's from Padma Puran 425 verses 15 through 18. Sri Sanat Kumar said to Sri Narad, 1. Actually, we'll go through the meaning of this, not now. We'll go through the meaning of it throughout this program, but not today. Today I'm just going to, shit, let's just read it. Sorry. I'm so indecisive. Well, let me put this in a Word document so we can see it clearly. This is just a short translation. Um, yeah, on this website, the translations are a little bit too literal, but it's also nice to just see without any extra anything, just like a very direct literal meaning. So, okay. 1. Defamation of the sat causes this is referring to the sat, like pure devotees, causes the greatest offense to the name. Oh, how can the name tolerate condemnation of those on whose account it is attained renown? 2. One here who shall see with the intellect all of Shiva's qualities, names, and so forth to be distinct from Sri Vishnu is certainly a committer of enmity towards Hari's name. And we also read the second meaning of this. The other meaning of the second verse is to not believe that Nam and Nami are the same. To think that the name is different from the possessor of the name. And then 3, disrespect for the Guru. And 4, defamation of the Shrutis and Shastras. These are all offenses to the name. Also, 5, assumption of mere praise, thinking that Nam is just mere praise. It's just it's artavad. 6, fabrication in regard to Sri Hari's name. They are also offenses of the name, thinking that it's all fabrication. So to think it's just an exaggeration, and then to think, yeah. Then 7, the purification of one who has the intention of sinning on the basis of the name's power to dispel sin, which is an offense to the name, certainly does not occur by the means of regulations. Huh. Okay, yes. So sinning on the strength of the holy name. Then 8, considering there to be equality of the name with all types of auspicious acts, such as dharma, rites, renunciation, and sacrifice, is also negligence in regard to the name. 9. Instructing one who is faithless, averse, or undesirous of hearing about the name is an offense to Shiva. Here refers, why does it say Shiva's like that? Shiva refers to auspicious, right? Yeah, the auspicious name of Shri Vishnu. Yeah, because Shiva means auspicious. Then 10. Even after having heard about the greatness of the name, one who remains devoid of love for the name, vile, and someone for whom I, mine, and so forth are primary, that person is also one who commits that offense. That person, let's say, the person who does that is also an offender of the name. Okay, so that is a very literal translation of those four verses. But we'll also go through how our acharyas have translated those verses and explained them. But that's what we'll try to do. We'll try to understand the meaning of every single word very clearly and know the literal meaning, just so that when we're reciting the verses, it will be not like we're just saying some like a combination of Sanskrit words, but we'll actually know exactly what we're reciting when we say the Sanskrit, and we'll also try to understand it according to how our acharyas would teach these verses to us. And this is going to be what we're reading for the majority of the time is about these 10 offenses. So, all right, that's our program for today. uh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. Jai Shri Param Gurudev Ki Jai. Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. जय श्री रूपानुग गौरिया गुरु वर्ग की जय स्वापाशा जी गौर नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गान की जय श्री गिरिराज महाराज की जय श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय जय श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय जय श्री हरिनाम चिंतामणि की जय जय श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बो वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवश च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रददेवी सत्यवता नमो नमः पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः Dandavat pranams. Dandavat pranams Niri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Chatamai Mataji, Kokuleshwari Didi, Sarveshwari Mataji, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Nitai Mukesh ji. Let's see, on YouTube and Facebook, who is there? One second. Ganga Mataji, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Kishore Prabhu, Champak Mataji, Madhavi Didi, Rukmini Didi, Fuleshwari Didi. And I see a bunch of other devotees, maybe Indira Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji, and a bunch of other devotees, or 10 devotees right now. I only see your name if you write a comment though. But Dandavat pranams, thank you so much for joining. Also, pranams to all the devotees watching in the future. And yeah, and to my friends Chandrasekhar. Haribol. And he also offers his Dandavat pranams to all the devotees. All right, so I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for the first first chapter of Shri Harināma-cintāmaṇi. Is there anything anybody wants to mention before I end today's stream? Oh, Gokuleshwari Didi. Yes, I'll share the article that we read on Sādhana. I'll share that in our WhatsApp group. Yeah, I'll do that. If anybody wants to join our WhatsApp group, you can go to my website, vineofdevotion.com, and just look at the first article that I like, the main article that's there. If you open that up, just scroll down and you'll see a link somewhere in that article. It's towards the bottom of the article. You'll see a link to the Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura WhatsApp group, and I'll be sharing the article that we read today in that group. Right. Haribo, Dandavat pranams. See you tomorrow. One second, just one last time, just in case anybody wrote a new comment.